Hello, hello.
Sonny, you're always doing the intro now.
Hello, hello. All right, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode.
Wait, sorry. It's just funny because I'm pretty sure I'm the one who started the hello, hello. And then you're like, why do you have to say that? And now you're like, hello.
You know what's funny is that I always open up my meetings like that. I'm always like, hello,
Oh.
hello.
Well, ASMR.
I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
I don't know if it actually called it. Wait, we need to do it together. Hold on, I need to find a really crunchy one.
Yeah, it's crunch one. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Better with Spice. It's your Spice sisters, Coby.
And Viv. I didn't laugh this time.
Yeah.
Yay! Last week we did a get to know us episode, but so I guess it kind of turned into like social media edition, where we I don't know, we kind of deep dived into social media, how we feel as content creators on social media, and sort of how it's like changed our life, or like how we're dealing with social media. And then we realized that we didn't really get to ask any other personal questions because we ended up talking for like an hour over social media. So this week is also another live ep, but we're going to do like a little, I don't know, I think we're doing like question style.
Yeah, like we have a game, those conversation card games.
Yes, and this one's actually from someone who I follow on Insta.
Nice.
And she herself has a podcast
Oh,
called
lovely.
What Fulfills You. And she sent this to me because she
Oh,
follows me. She's like, oh, I think you would really like, you know.
what a
and
shout out.
And yeah, so she does, I think, these type of card questions on her podcast with like special guests and stuff.
Oh, that's so cute.
So-
That's actually a really nice podcast idea.
And I feel like I've never actually used this before because it's kind of like, the questions are a little bit too heavy for like a board game night. And it's kind of like, I guess you can ask like your significant other, but also it's like, it's probably nicer as a podcast. So it really comes into handy.
Yeah, that's
So-
actually a really fun idea.
So we're going to kind of, maybe we'll pick one each, and then hopefully the question will give you a little bit more insight of who we are.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, another non-book related podcast app. What book are you reading?
Nothing.
Anyway, let me have a grape. Sorry, I'm literally like touching each grape because I hate soft grapes. Oh, soft.
Wait, are we answering, you're picking a card for me, or we're answering the card each?
I think we should answer the card each.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But we just get to pick one card each.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So I've laid the cards out.
Like a magician.
You may pick one of the cards. Da-da-dun. So your question first.
All
I'm
right.
scared because these questions are deep. Like I've had a bit
Oh, this is deep.
Oh no, because I've had a bit of a dive through some of the questions, and then they're not easy questions. Like, oh, like,
What's your favorite fruit?
or like, if you had to eat one food forever for the rest of your life, what would it be? It's like
deep.
deep. So give it to me.
All right. So
Oh, I'm scared.
if tomorrow was your last day and you
Oh,
didn't have to
no.
have a chance to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? I actually feel like
I will
this is
cry
gonna make me
already.
cry.
Wait, okay. So if tomorrow was the last day,
Yeah.
and you pretty much, if you didn't say something to someone,
Yeah, what would you like? Who would it be? What haven't you? Why
Oh my
haven't you
God,
told
I actually
them yet?
like-
as a follow up
oh
question.
God, I don't even know if I.
This is too much.
Yeah, and how deep do we go? Like, because I have someone in mind,
Me too.
and I feel like, yeah, but
I
I'm
feel
like,
I want to cry. I
Yeah.
remember I cried to my therapist about this.
I'm seeing you on Thursday, so it would be a good segue. And I don't know, like, I feel like there's actually a lot of people that would fall into that category that I feel like I would have a conversation with. But I'm like, who would be the most regrettable? Oh, you first.
Oh god. I think I need some tissues.
Oh, I have some here with a grape on them.
So I think for me,
This is so vulnerable.
I know. Oh, I'm so
Scared.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm more like squished.
So I think for me, like, okay, the context is like, I actually saw a TikTok the other day, and it was like, 10 things I wish I knew, like, when I was like in my 20s or whatever. And the first one was like, call your mum and dad. And then I always think about like how I do have a good relationship with my mom. Like, we talk quite often, like, either I call her or like we're like voice noting on WhatsApp. But like, I don't think I have the same level of relationship with my dad. And
this is like where we're both uncomfortable with
emotion.
Yeah. Where I'm like, if you cry, like, do you want to? Like,
literally
I'm like, but I'm like, do I pat you?
Yes,
or like, do I hug
gross.
you? Because
Don't.
you're not a hugger.
Don't touch me.
And I'm like, but do I just sit here and be like, hello, are you okay? And we just laugh because we can't deal with
I can't deal with emotions. Yeah, no, I think it's like with my dad, I wish I would be able to tell him that I love him.
Oh, stop. You're going to make me cry. I'm literally tearing up. Whoa.
Too much. Cancel the app.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that's, anyway.
Oh my god.
You good? You want a grape?
Anyway.
This is like my therapy lesson as well. I'll be like, ha ha ha. Anyway,
Crying. Yeah. literally, like, I'm like at my therapist, and then I'm like full crying for 40 minutes, and then at the end I'm like, so how are you?
Yeah. How's your week been?
Yeah, and she's like, that's not your job.
We actually share the same therapist.
Yeah,
so that's
cute.
why it's funny.
That's cute.
Okay, so that was big. So wait, do you want follow-up questions or not?
No. Don't talk to me. What, do you have something you want to ask me?
I do.
Okay, ask me. What?
Well, as in, is it because you guys, like, would you now, like, after this?
I think I would. I think, like, yeah, these couple of realizations have made me want to. I think, like, with my dad, we have a good relationship. Like, I will go to him if I need something. Like, he's like your typical like Chinese man where he like
Who
doesn't-
helps you? It's
yeah,
like a helper,
he's like like acts of service is like his love language. But I think like I go to him like when like I do tell him I love him when like things are fucked, right? But like I don't ever say it like just like on a day to day. So I think like yeah.
Do you say that to your mum?
No, no, but like,
but it's different relationship.
Yeah, but I think like with my mom, like her love language is like quality time. Yeah, so like I show her that I love her by being with her all the time. But like with my dad, like I don't know what I can do for my dad. Like my dad is the type of guy who's like, oh, like get out of the kitchen, or like if I'm trying to do something, he'll like just
I'll
take
do it.
over.
I'll do it. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I will make him a meal or something. I feel like that's like perilous? No, dangerous, because it's like I'm a shit cook. And then give him food
and then he'll
poisoning.
be like, excuse me, like, why'd you do this? And then it's like the gap is like even further away.
It's like never speak to me again.
Damn.
So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Okay, your turn.
Oh shit!
Should we get tissues?
I do have some here if you want. They haven't been used. Here you go. Here's a tissue for you.
Lol.
I can't. How do I can't. I feel like it's like I can't.
Why?
Maybe it's just you answer and I'll just pick up another
No,
question. And answer.
no. Okay.
Maybe it's like you picked up a question that you have to answer and I'll answer another
You
one.
answer the question. The fact that you don't want to answer it makes me want to hear it.
No, because you already know.
Just say it.
Too much. I'm gonna have a grape. I feel like, okay, the answer to the question, there's a lot of things that I want to share, but maybe for the sake of the relationship's still healing at the moment. So I feel like I can't say the exact thing that I want to say. However, there is like a situation like, okay, so when I was away in Hong Kong, right, I was having lunch with my grandma, and my grandma, I guess it's like my grand auntie. So it's my grandma's
sisters.
Well, not really. It's like grandma's brother's wife. So I guess kind of.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a weird conversation where my grandma just brought up, just very randomly. She's at that age where I think like
she's like whatevs.
Yeah, but also like very like, you know, life and talk about all relation, like just no filter type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And me and my grand aunt, let's just call her my grand auntie. It's not like we have a close relationship because she lives in Hong Kong, so I don't really like see her. But I feel like this trip, it was like nicer because she treated me more like an adult, whereas back in like when I used to see her, I was always like the kid, right? So but because I'm like older now, she hasn't seen me since I've been married, so then now I think it's like kind of we're on the same same level. Anyway, my grandma just randomly brought up saying like, do you still talk to your dad? So for context, my parents have been divorced since I was like 3, so I've met my dad maybe 3 times in my life, like when I was like 6, and then once when I was with my ex-boyfriend when I went to Hong Kong to visit. And the last time I saw him was when I was with Alex, and we went to see him maybe back in like 2015, 2016.
What was a long time ago?
Yeah, and we had lunch or something. I can't really remember. So my grandma was just like, oh, do you still talk to your dad? And I was like, no, I don't talk to my dad. And there was a period of time where I would constantly try to talk to him. And back in the day, maybe when I was like, I say like between 18, 19, he might email me every birthday and be like, happy birthday, like love dad or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, my dad emailed. But it's like when you are someone who has been a child of divorce when you're like so young, the feeling of not having a parent is like, I don't know. I feel like it would be different if your parents divorced when you're like 16, right? So when he's saying stuff like this, I'm not sure if I'm using like stereotypical families or like what other people's families would be like if they had a dad. I'm like, oh wow, my dad emailed, rather than the actual missing of a dad, because I don't feel like I miss my dad because I've never had a dad. Yeah. Whereas if it was different, if you divorce and then you then hang out with dad, you might feel more like, oh my God, like my dad.
Yeah.
It's like we're chatting and stuff. But when he emails, it's kind of almost like a stranger.
It's just like a random, like, it's like when you get like an email from Easyway on your birthday. Like,
yeah. But for some reason, I still felt hurt when he stopped emailing, you know? And just the backstory, because it kind of makes sense, but just the backstory is that I was reaching out when I first got like engaged. So back in 2019, when I got engaged to Alex, this was already after a couple years of him not reaching out. I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, I'm getting married. And I felt like it was the right thing to do as, I guess, daughter, to tell your parents that you're getting married. Even if we don't have a relationship, I'm just going to let you know your 27-year-old daughter is getting married. So do what you will. But this is... So he was like, oh, like, congratulations. Like, I want to give you a gift, blah, blah, blah. Very surface level. Felt like
a distant relative rather than like your dad.
And then afterwards, when I got married, you know, I told him the date, everything, and I was like, you know, it's obviously you're not invited. Like, I didn't invite him. I was just saying I'm getting married. Yeah. And afterwards, I don't know. I think maybe because I was married, I was like, oh, my dad didn't walk me down the aisle and all that stuff. Like, it was kind of like those type of feelings came to play, and I was just like, like maybe I am like a bit more trauma than I thought. So I actually sent him an email and was like, kind of like, why am I always the one who's reaching out? You're the dad, you're the like father figure. You know, sometimes you say things making it seem like you regret like how you lived your life or like what you've done with me, but you're not showing that kind of like same initiation. And kind of like a really lengthy email of like saying, I think I'm not going to reach out anymore. Because I'm like, I don't know why I'm hurt over someone who doesn't really exist in my life type of thing, right? And he actually was like responded and said like, was very mature. It's like, I don't know how to have a relationship with you. And I'm like, I get that. And do you think I know how to have a relationship with you? So when he said that, he was like, for many years I wanted to try and have a relationship, but it's been hard. Obviously you don't live where I live, and I don't know how to connect with you. And I'm like, well, starting to email and having conversations would help.
Yeah.
But then he didn't. He like ghosted me.
Oh God. So
So
you responded to him being like, I don't know how, and then
Yeah.
you gave the instructions, and he was like,
I was just like, I think it would be nice if maybe we can start with like a chat on like WhatsApp, or like just like checking in like day to day, just get to know me, or like even, I don't know if I want to have a phone call with you, but I'm happy to like give you updates, you know?
Yeah.
And he added me on WhatsApp, like a WeChat, whatever, and then like just like ghosted. So I haven't talked to him since.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, as a like healing wise, I've just decided that it's just not a relationship that I need to put my effort in.
Yeah.
But obviously, it still hurts me.
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
So anyway, my grandma was like, "Have you talked to your dad?" So obviously, I'm like, "No, I haven't fucking talked to my dad." Like I was like, "Haven't talked to him." Last time I talked to him was like just before we got married. And then she said to me, and I don't know why she said this, and I don't know if there's something that I don't know that she knows, but she said to me, and she was like, if your dad one day came to you and needed help for whatever reason, she's like, whether he's really sick and he needs money, or like, I don't know, he just needs like, he needs your help. Like he's reaching out to you, he needs your help. She said to me, you need to help him. And then I was just like, what? And then
Jeez.
my grand auntie was just like, why does she need to help him when he has done nothing for her?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that moment where I have never really spoken about how I felt with my parents' divorce to anyone in my family, because first of all, you don't talk about these things in Asian households.
Of course not. Yeah.
And second of all, it almost feels like everyone doesn't care about the child of divorce.
Yeah.
They just care about the two
Being
parents.
divorced.
It's like, oh, like my mom, like, you know, she's doing really well, she's so successful, like she's raised a really good daughter, blah blah blah. But nobody's ever really asked me, how do you feel, like as a child of divorce, how do you feel not having a dad, or how do you feel growing up now, you know?
So how do you feel?
So in that moment when my grand auntie was like, I don't agree, you know, with what you said, and it's like a big thing to not agree with an elderly person, right? And I was just like, because I was like, straight off the bat, I was like, I disagree with you, grandma. Like, I don't think I would need to do that.
Yeah.
And then she was very like, what do you mean? Like, you know, she's like, he's your blood. At the end of the day, like, he's still your dad. And I was like, he's not my dad. And then I actually spoke out, and I was like, no one's ever freaking asked me before how I feel. And no one's asked me, like, how it feels not to have a dad and all that stuff, and how it feels now as like an adult not having parents and having dysfunctional parent like relationship with the existing parent that you have, right? And you're telling me now that I need to go and take care of someone who hasn't taken care of me. I think this question could be directed to my mum, where I wish that we can have a closer relationship of maybe why they divorced, or like how I feel like she doesn't know how I feel, and that's what I would regret not telling her, like how the divorce has shaped me, because it's just something that we don't talk about. I don't know, it's just the whole divorce and the whole dad issue is just, I haven't ever spoken to my mum about it ever, because I just always felt like it was like a taboo, or like a topic that we can't talk about. But I feel like it's a lot of stuff that's not giving me closure. Yeah. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Nice.
No tears.
Nice.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Anyway.
Well, my turn to pick a question.
God. Okay.
Hopefully it's not as.
Like a date. Yeah. Something less. I won't cry.
What do you value most? Comfort or personal growth?
Personal growth.
Easy. None. Same.
What about you? Yeah.
I think actually that that ties into what we talked about in the social media episode, because we were talking about because we were talking about how you don't want to lose yourself versus maybe being in a comfortable spot, doing things that are like outside your comfort zone will always make you feel shit, but it will, I don't know, you'll grow more. Yeah.
And I actually want to talk about this actually, because like yesterday, we were having a conversation with somebody.
Spill the tea.
Okay, so basically they had a conversation. Like the argument wasn't about this conversation, but they did also talk about just the way like it was about Will, but I guess it could be seen about us. But Will works like nine to nine. Like he works like 12-hour days. And like I essentially work the same because like
You got 2 jobs.
yeah, I got 2 jobs. And the feedback that we received was like you shouldn't work like that, and you should enjoy your life, and you should like, you know, take the money you earn from corporate and like go and like, you know, frolic in the ocean and like go like walk on the beach. But like for us and just the life stage that we're both in right now is that I guess this is something that I'm sharing for the first time on the pod.
Ooh. So if you're listening, this is tea.
This is tea, but so we're trying for a baby.
Cute.
But like, so we have always, I think like over the last couple years already, we've always had the mindset of like, whenever we have a baby, we want to spend as much time as we can with our kid. So we want to grow as much as we can now, so it
will be more comfortable.
Yeah,
later.
like we want to grow financially. We want to have our own like success in our own ways. And then when we have the kid, we can enjoy our child. And like that's why we work the way we do. And yeah, like, but Will's cousin like really disagreed on that, and he's like, oh, you know, why would you do that? You could die tomorrow. And it's like, well, if I died tomorrow, I think at least I wouldn't have regretted that I did that. But I think if I had, because I'm such a person that sees into the future, like I am so like such a planner that I would rather give up what, you know, like no one likes to work after work. Like if I had the choice, you know, on the weekend I'll probably like be watching TV.
Yeah, because this is technically working.
Yeah, we're like
we're
literally
working on a Sunday.
working right now, but like no one wants to do that. But we're only doing it because we want growth for the future, and I think that's why I want growth. Like I'm trying to set myself up for the future.
Like I can actually I understand where that person's coming from.
That person censored.
Yeah, because I also am very. Like between me and Alex, like I'm definitely more the romanticizing, like kind of airy fairy girl, and he's very analytical and realistic. So he is someone who would be like, we need to be, you know, like earning this much to be able to afford this lifestyle, or like if we go on holidays, then we need to make sure we're like saving for this, and you know, like, and that's very like responsible. Whereas for me, I am a bit like said person and would be like, oh, but you know, like we could die tomorrow, so why bother like worrying about too much? I think part of it is actually is denial, like my defense mechanism of not addressing things, because I would just be like, oh, it's fine, like whatever, like it's what will be. So I can understand where that person's coming from, because I also have epiphanies sometimes where I'm like, well, fuck it, like
we could die tomorrow.
Yeah, or not even that. It's like life is really so short. So why are you wasting your time doing things that you don't like? But it's different if this is what you want to do. Yeah, you know, so that's right. The thing. It's like for some people, fulfillment is in earning money and climbing corporate ladders, or becoming a CEO, or having a penthouse above New York City, you know? Yeah. And some people just want to be like, live out of a van, don't have a proper like career. They just want to they just want to work to live. So for me, it's just like whatever floats your boat. Yeah, like I don't.
It shouldn't be judged.
No, I don't feel like when I see people who are like on TikTok who share their corporate lawyer life, for example, and they're like really working like literally like a dog, but they love it because it's like this is, and they live in a freaking amazing apartment and have a private chef, all that shit.
Oh shit!
And you're kind of like, wow, like that's freaking awesome. Yeah. But then you also have the spectrum of people who are like
van life.
Yeah, this is what I live in, tiny home. Like I don't with my cat and dog, and I just travel around the world. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome as well. Yeah. But it doesn't mean those two people need to live the same life. Yeah. Like it's just life is. I think the argument for that person should just be life is so short. Do just as long as you don't regret. Like if this is what you love, and it's tomorrow the world ends, then it's great.
And I think it's about like what's your purpose, and what are you trying to achieve, but like whatever your purpose is should never be judged by someone else. Yeah.
So
yeah,
cute,
cool. All right, next question.
It's
my turn. Are you happy with the people you surround yourself with? Why or why not? How can you change that?
Yeah, how? You first.
I think I am quite happy. Like, I think my social circles over the years have become smaller and smaller.
Which is normal when you're older
yeah,
and older.
an adult, yeah. But I think I think back on, the people who were in my life, like my bridesmaids. Like, I think that's like how I would pick my closest friends, and everyone who's like my bridesmaid is in that group. Yeah, so I am happy with the people I surround myself with.
I don't talk to one of my bridesmaids anymore.
What? Wait, why do you guys talk?
I don't know.
Let's deep dive in.
We just haven't talked.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't hurt as much anymore. But it's like, interesting. I think I feel like this is something that I unpack a lot in therapy. And it probably comes with a lot of like the whole like childhood trauma of being abandoned by my dad, and then being abandoned by my other parental figures in my life. Let's not name them. So I feel like it's similar to you sometimes. I think for you, you've mentioned that you like to do the leaving so that you don't get abandoned.
Whoa.
Yeah. You've mentioned it sometimes sprinkled it in the book app, and I was like, ooh. Whereas for me, I'm like, I don't know if it's this is really deep, but I don't know if sometimes I feel like it's always going to happen. So I just let it happen, and I'm like, oh, there you go. Another person.
Approved it.
Yeah, another person who's like abandoned me. But I also, when the abandoning happens, I overcompensate, and I will be like, what did I do? Because obviously with my parents, I don't believe it's because of me.
No.
But you just never know, because they divorced when I was so young. I borderline feel like maybe I was born and it was just like, shit's not working out. We got a freaking divorce, right? Because like, why did you not just divorce like before you had me? Like, it was just way too close to. Anyway.
Were you an accident?
So I feel like, I don't know if it's coming from me thinking that I am the reason why people are abandoning. So then I go and overcompensate by asking those people, what have I done? Like, and this is like a very known thing that I do with a lot of my friendships. Not so much relationships, because ironically I have been the one who ended every single one of my relationships, besides a couple, which are the reason why dating episodes will be interesting. But it's like, I would go and like, once I feel like the abandonment has happened, I'm just like, hey, like, yeah, like, it's me.
Yeah.
Like, what have I, like, did I do something wrong? Like, or like, what's happened? Like, and I start to fixate. And that's where, like, it's almost like the abandoning part isn't so bad. Yeah. Well, obviously it is subconsciously, but it's the part where then they don't respond when I'm reaching out, and I'm trying to be like, I need this closure.
You're trying to patch it up, but
because you don't they don't understand how much I need the closure to move on. Like, it's almost like when there's no closure, it haunts me, and I like, that's where I get upset.
That's because it's a big word.
It's just like, I need you to tell me you don't want to be friends with me.
Yeah, okay.
I need you to tell me like, it's we've just drifted, it's not the same, like, we can't keep, like, whatever. I'd rather be like hurt by those words and be like, oh sweet, okay,
like, why.
Yeah, because I think the feeling of being abandoned without knowing, which is what happened to me when I was younger, that haunts me to like relationships.
No. And so do you think that, like, now that you go to therapy and like you get professional advice, is this something that you've done with this relationship, with this friendship?
No. As in like, I still am reaching out, even though...
Yeah, she's not replying.
Yeah, and even though my therapist is saying, like, maybe you need to learn to let go in another way. But I'm like, that's why I'm here. Like, I can't.
I'm trying.
I'm like, I will tell her, hey, I didn't text them today. And then next week, like, I'm like, I texted them. I'm like that ex that keeps reaching out. That's me. but with friendships.
But I think like it's one thing I have noticed, like ever since you started going to therapy, is that I have noticed you saying like, "Are you mad at me?" less, and I love that. Like I love that.
But
for
I
you.
think I actually think that's a progression of our friendship, though.
Yeah,
Not
I also
necessarily.
think so.
Yeah,
Like no, but I think it's probably both.
maybe, but because both of us are going to therapy.
Yeah, like I know how to handle like situations more. You as well, and we're being like obviously
we're very more open
Yeah.
with each other than we were when we were friends before.
I think so, and I think like that's why this friendship is really working for me. Is that we are honest with each other. Like I think like with even like working together on this podcast, like there have been things where I was like, oh my god, like I feel so bad for saying, but
Yeah.
it needs to be said, or else I'm gonna walk away.
And
Like,
it's
I
funny
know
because
it.
I mentioned that situation to Alex where I was like, did Kobe and I just have our first work fight? Like it wasn't even a fight, right?
No,
It was just more like
hate discussion.
yeah, like a work discussion. And he is so precious. He's like the first thing he said to me when I told him that we were going to do a podcast, he's like, I know how much you care about Kobe.
Oh.
I'm just gonna make me cry.
You're gonna make me cry. Round two.
But he's like, are you worried that this will ruin the friendship?
Mm.
Oh my god.
Stop.
And I was like, well, I think because we mentioned that.
Yeah.
I think straight off the bat, we're like, it would be great to work together, but it's like, it's not worth
The friendship.
the friendship.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we have to be honest. If it's not working out, then we can't like continue and we have to be okay. We respect that
Yeah.
if one of us pulls out for whatever reason,
Yeah.
that at least it's like, okay, we've done it, we tried it, it's fun.
Mm.
And then, but our friendship's still intact.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think like, so he was like saying, do you think your friendship is gonna be? And I was like, don't ask that type of question. I was like, hey, I was like, excuse me. So then when I told him that, Kobe kind of reached out to me and like voiced some of her concerns. But I actually, when you reached out to me, because I think, I mean, I would like to be honest and say sometimes I am a very defensive person. And I think a lot of people are.
Yeah,
like
I
the
think
moment someone
everyone
says
is.
something,
Yeah,
you're
it's
like,
oh my
oh,
god,
like,
Yeah, what'd you say?
yeah. But when you reached out to me, I felt like I could see how, like the way you reached out, how long you kind of was already sitting on it. And then the message was I felt like it was like copied from notes. You're like, I'm going to have to write it down. So when you reached out and sent it to me, I was like, oh my God, like this is actually something that she's probably been feeling for like the last couple of weeks or like, I mean, it was a 9-day turnaround. So
it's like
a
2
couple
days,
of days. And I actually felt really like, it wasn't like defensive, but it was more like, shit, did I really make her feel that way? Because that was not my intention.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like when we got that conversation out of the way, it was kind of awkward, but I feel like we were both like, this is personal growth because I don't think this is a conversation that you can have with a lot of people without it going defensive. Like,
100%. Like, and I really think it's just also just the way, like now that we both go to therapy, we know who, and also we know each other on a deeper level that I was able to have that conversation.
and then I was able to take that conversation and be
Yeah.
like, she's not coming at me as if she hates me.
Yeah, I don't.
And, but if I don't respond,
that
like,
was awkward.
then it will be like,
If you ghosted
yeah, no, not ghosted, but if I responded in a way where if someone else said that to me without like much context or without me understanding them, then I might be more defensive, and then you would then feel like I'm not understanding you, and etc. etc.
Yeah.
You know? But I felt like, yeah, so obviously therapy is helping because it's like giving context to like feelings and situations
Yes.
rather than just seeing it point blank word
like
for
only
word.
how you can say it. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I think like when I react to something, I'm like, wait, like, but what would my therapist say? Like what would she tell me? And then I'm like, oh wait, no, like don't be crazy.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why we said.
Oh, but the question is, are you happy with your friendships?
Yeah. So overall, obviously, I'm happy with who I surround myself with. I think for me, I would be happier if I can let go of certain people that I want to continue surrounding myself with, but I haven't told myself maybe it's just time to let go.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like if once I let go of those friendships, maybe I'll feel more like free and fulfilled. Friendships are definitely out of your control because it's a 2-person thing, and it's like needs to be 2 people just need to be on the same page, and we're just not on the same page. Ooh, book pun.
Good.
We're in different chapters, not on the same page.
Oh,
literally.
yeah.
So it's just yeah, I don't think you can ever, like, for me, my personality, I don't think I'll ever be able to like get over it, but maybe it'll just hurt less, because it's just like maybe one day, 5 years from now, you know, I send a message and then we can have a civilized conversation of like,
What
you know, oh,
happened?
like, yeah, we've just drifted. I'm sorry we didn't reach out. And maybe that'll be enough.
Yeah. I think like all you can do is that you know you've done your best.
Yeah.
And your best is not like bombarding them with like, hello.
I think, yeah, well.
We always have a lapse of judgment.
Yeah.
But I think I was very surprised.
Yeah, I am too. But
Oh well.
it is what it is.
Well, I love you.
Oh, I love you too. All right, we should do one more
Okay, next
question.
one.
And then. Okay. Do you believe everything happens for a reason? Or do we have more control over our fate? It's funny because this was actually a question I had for you personally. Like, I wrote it down and say, do you feel like you're someone who believes everything happens for a reason?
You have to answer first. Now that's your tradition now.
I think I am definitely someone who is everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I can see that.
But am I like that because I am just like...
Trying to cope.
I feel like sometimes I say that as a way of being in denial of what things are happening. So I'll be like, oh, I didn't get my dream job, or like I didn't get my dream home because better things are coming. Or is it really because I didn't try hard enough, but I'm just trying to tell myself, you know? So like, I sometimes fall into a fine line, but overall I'm definitely more like everything happens for a reason. But what about you? I feel like you aren't.
Yeah, like I'm like more the opposite of you, where it's like it's like everything is in my control.
Yep.
And then sometimes it's like, oh, everything happens for a reason. But like I think like, so there has been like, oh, actually maybe I can share this story, right? Like where recently I was I found out that I didn't get my dream job, like literally your example. And then I was thinking, oh, maybe like this, like closing of this one door means I can open a new chapter and like focusing on something that I actually care about. So that is very much like everything can happen for a reason. But at the same time, it's like I was resentful that I didn't get this job, and then like I had tried so hard to control it, but I couldn't. Like there was nothing I could do. So it's like I do believe, like, yeah, when I'm trying to make myself feel better, I will say everything happens for a reason. But like when I'm trying to push myself, it's like everything is in your control.
So mostly you would say you are someone that's it's in your control. Yeah. And then in certain times it's like,
yeah, exactly. And I think like I get especially disappointed if I thought it was in my control, but then it turns out nothing I could have done could have changed the outcome.
Yeah, because like I'm definitely someone who's like the universe.
It's conspiring.
Yeah, it's like not to the point where I'm like stars are aligned and go like, you know. And I don't think I'm a very good manifester. Like I like to say I manifest things, but I don't.
Like Taylor Swift tickets.
True, I did manifest those. I do. Yep, we did. But I feel like manifesting still actually requires a lot of work, you know, to manifest. And I'm just someone who's like, yeah, I'm manifesting, but I do nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely always like everything happens for a reason. But I half think that it's because I'm just too lazy to like do anything. So I would like sit on the couch and be like, the universe wants me to read a book today. So it's like, that's just what's gonna happen. Like if the universe wants me to work, it'll throw a job at me.
True.
Yeah.
What traits do you want people to describe you as?
Okay, you gotta answer first.
Oh.
What's a trait? Like is that like
a personality trait? Like
as in like kind and
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I would want people to think that I'm caring. And maybe like conscientious, like a hard worker.
Which you are.
But am I kind? I noticed that you did that.
No, you are kind.
I'm kind to the people I care about.
Yeah.
I'm not an overall
Well, it's hard to say
person.
that, like, it's hard to say how people would see you because I know you know?
Mm.
But I feel like you are someone who, probably more closed off when you first meet. And, like, hard to read, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, it's kind of like, not sure if you like me or not vibe. You know, if I'm yeah, but then once you get like, as in you're very like, as in you are very positive when you first meet. You're very like cheery and stuff. But then you kind of want to like uncover it, but you know,
actually, I think you're probably right. Like, I have heard the same feedback from other people. I am a very closed off person
but then it's like after you meet them for like 2 days, as in like if you, for example, at my like wedding stuff, I think it was like kind of awkward at the start because obviously not everyone knows everyone. Yeah. But then it almost like was like, oh yeah, hey, I'll take you home. You know, like yeah. I think it's just after like a couple of hours or even,
and I think it's more just like that's also an introvert thing as well, where it's just like hello.
And plus, all my friends are kind of introverts.
Yeah, not awkward introvert.
Talking about you, Cecilia.
I like Cecilia.
I know you do. She listens to our podcast.
Hi.
But yeah, no, I think after like literally like a couple of meetings with you, people would know who you are. Like you would open up more.
Yeah, I think that is quite true.
But you are definitely like you can tell that you are a planner. Like
I'm crazy.
Like very organized type of person, and very like I feel like you can switch between professional and colloquial very easily.
Interesting. Is it because we have the 2 chats?
Maybe. Yeah. But as in like I feel like working with you now is like a lot different to like talking to you. So what we have, right? Because we've realized that we chat all the time, and sometimes even personally chatting, we have like 5 different conversations at once. So she'll be like, oh, I'm like thinking of getting a tattoo, and I'm like, oh cool, what tattoo do you want? And I'll be like, oh, side note, like why is my eye twitching? Like you know, and then
it's always like side note.
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh yeah, but before I forget, like Charlie is blah blah, and then we're just responding each like thing, it's and then chaos. We realized that in between we're also talking about like a podcast, and we're like, what did we say about this? So we decided that like WhatsApp will be personal, and then iMessage will be all like work stuff. Yeah. So when I'm talking to her like on iMessage, she sounds so like, you sound so professional. It's like, yep, sounds good. It's like, no, it's like, yes, I agree, no, that would work. And then on our like actual chat, it's like fucking ding, ding, ding.
That's actually really true.
So I feel like, but we're literally texting at the same time.
At the same time.
So I'm like, how are you going from this to then like, no, yes, I agree. Whereas for me, I'm kind of just like, oh my God, like, what do you think of this? Or should we do this? And I'm like going on to say, oh yeah, oh my God, I'm like,
and then I'm like, you're using the wrong chat.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like people can definitely tell that you are that type of personality, which means that you're hardworking.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
So what about you then?
I think for me, I would want, I don't know, like I think I would want someone to say that I'm like kind.
Yeah.
And probably just like real. And I think that's probably because of my job.
Yeah.
That I am constantly, like I mentioned, trying to be the same person. And I think it's that if someone meets me, it's like, oh, like she seems like someone who is
real and kind.
Yeah, I don't know how to like, as in just like, it's just down to earth. Maybe that would be a nice one.
I do think you are down to earth.
I don't think so.
Really? Why not?
I don't know if I come across sometimes just real unapproachable.
Not really.
No, honestly, I think I come across very socially awkward, which Alex is like.
I don't actually think so. Because like I say that because I've seen you like interact with your followers in real life. And it's not like you're super weird.
I have been though sometimes. Maybe because it's
like you think that you're being really weird.
Maybe.
But like I didn't think you were being weirder than normal. No, I think it's like of course you're not being like who you are, like because you don't know them.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like out of your like circle, comfort zone. Yeah. But I do think you are a very down to earth person.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I want to be.
Yeah, like
I'm striving.
Yeah. Vision board.
No, I don't know.
So I do think you're like chill. You're a pretty chill person.
But have you ever seen this meme this video where someone was like, the more times you say you're a chill person, you're not chill.
Yeah.
And I always tell people like I'm pretty chill, and then Alex always looks at me like, and I'm like, I am chill, and he's like, say it one more time and I believe you. And I'm just like,
I'm chill.
So I'm like, what do I say? Like I'm not chill, and then people were like, oh, she's pretty chill. Like.
don't know. Like, I know I have no chill. Like, I am not a chill person. Like, I am like planning 3
But you
years
kind
in
of
ahead.
are, though.
Like, I am chill in a way that it's like, if it happens, like, whatever. If it doesn't, it's fine. I'm not too attached. But it's also because I've like had like 3 mental breakdowns already.
I actually think maybe you're someone who, like, if you get given the choice, you then definitely have like an opinion. But if someone has made the choice for you,
Yeah,
you're
but,
also
okay.
just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Because if I'm like, oh, let's go here for lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I'm like, oh, do you prefer this or this? Then you're like, oh, I prefer this or something.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's also like it depends on what it is. Like, if it's just like food or restaurants, I'm like, I don't really care. So, okay, whatevs.
True. Yeah. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I'm very pedantic.
Yeah,
about food.
exactly. So it's like, I would just rather like, yeah, I have like foodie friends. So I'm like, I would rather let them choose because I don't really care. Yeah, you are quite pedantic about it. Maybe you are not down to earth at all.
I'm not. I don't know why food is something that really, 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 like, if I'm not eating good food, I get so mad.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know, food just makes me
Happy.
if I have a really good meal, I could be happy for the rest of the week.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that meal was amazing. Like,
Oh my God. What is a meal that you've had that like gave you that feeling?
shout out to a restaurant in New York called Da Toscano. I booked it for like my birthday last year, and I was about to like actually cancel because it's not like it's insta popular yet, but it's like been on a lot of lists. And I went to a few other like insta popular places, and they weren't amazing.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, oh my God, it's not gonna be worth the hype. And I was like going to like cancel, but then Alex was like, oh, but we don't have any other place to go, so let's just go. Hands down the best meal I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I literally, like, everything was 5 out of 5. And even for Alex, he was like, yeah, everything is like 5 out of 5.
Damn.
Like, it costs like a fortune.
Oh, of course.
But I don't think I salivate thinking about it. And I'm going back to New York in a couple months, and I'm literally like,
book that.
I'm like, I'm going to book it, and I'm going to like spend a few hours there and eat as much as I can.
Oh my God. Like, I don't really feel like, if you ask me what's the best restaurant I've ever been to, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. Because like, yes, I've been to some really good restaurants, and in the moment I'm like, oh my God, you're hectic.
Yeah.
Like, but then like, I wouldn't even think about it the next day. Like, I'm not a very food driven person.
I don't think I am either, but I just feel
I don't
like,
think you are
no, I'm
either.
not. Like, I'm not a foodie, but I don't
Mm.
know why. It's just like, if I have a really average meal, I can tell that I'm just like,
But you know what makes me mad is when you pay good money and it's shit meal.
yeah, well, that's
Or-
half the restaurants out there, unfortunately.
Or when you pay money for a coffee and it's bad. That makes me really mad.
That would make me mad.
Yeah, because it's like you only have one
Like, very
coffee a day,
milky.
and it's like always burned. I'm like, yeah, that makes me really, really
Yeah,
mad.
so it's like what you ingest like makes you happy.
No, I just love coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun fact about me.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, so that was fun.
anyway, I feel like we have been talking for over an hour
Ages.
again.
I think we just talk a lot. Like,
yeah, I don't know. We're really vibing today. That was a really fun episode. I feel like we can do more of these.
yeah.
Maybe
But-
we can have like relationship cards or like
yeah, because like there are
sex
themed
cards,
ones.
like you know,
Let's do a sex one. That'll be fun.
yeah, like a smutty one. Maybe we do that next
Ooh,
time.
Yeah, let's
And
do that. You know, we should film that maybe in Melbourne, just to like.
Oh
put it on
yeah,
video.
we are going to Melbourne next month.
Yay!
In a month's time, because we're gonna go get tattoos. I don't know. It's not like we're gonna get matching tattoos. We
We're
just
getting
decided.
tattoos.
We just decided we like this artist in Melbourne. We're gonna get tattoos, and it's like a delayed birthday trip for you.
And an
An
early,
early
trip
one.
for her.
And we're gonna like.
And we'll find a good restaurant. So.
Oh yeah, I'll find a good restaurant.
Yeah, she will find. I would just turn up. I'll be like, okay, cool. What should I wear?
I'll find a good restaurant. Hopefully, otherwise I'll be so depressed.
Yeah, she would be depressed.
Actually, I mean, I don't know how many people will be watching it that's from Melbourne.
But-
if you have any suggestions,
yeah, give us a good recommendation and where to stay as well.
yes, I know. I don't really know where to stay. I haven't really discussed that, but okay.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining this episode. Remember, if you like this episode, give us a 5-star reviews on Spotify or give us a like on YouTube.
So we've done 2 live episodes now.
Oh, yeah.
So I think next episode we'll go back to like a little book
Yeah.
episode. But if you like these live episodes, let us know, and we'll be sure to like sprinkle a bit more, because I think it's quite fun.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
It's very different, and I feel like at first I was like, oh, what are we going to talk about?
Well,
but
we
I feel
talked
like we
about-
actually have
have
talked
heaps
about a
about.
lot. So it actually feels like we definitely can have that in our little repertoire. Oh my god,
Jinx.
awkward.
But I think like if you have any like topics you want us to discuss, like let us know. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, I don't know. That's good.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's it. Just
okay,
call
okay,
it.
okay,
Yeah. Bye.